So as you've likely already heard, or even if you haven't, CIG have announced when 3.17.2 drops to the live servers, there will be a database wipe of the wallet and the inventory including ships and any items that you've bought, anything that you haven't pledged for essentially. And they're going to be wiping that. They're going to be keeping reputation, however, so any of those mission holders that you've kind of ranked up, whether it be deliveries or mercenary work, they're still going to remain the same. So a lot of people are kind of on the fence, some people are very much against it, and some people like myself are all for it. And whether or not you like it, I think it's definitely working towards a positive result for Star Citizen, as there are a lot of issues that are cropping up of late. Whether or not they've affected you personally, there are quite a few people that are having them to the detriment of their gameplay seriously affecting them, myself included. Citizens, my name's Beard of Oz, and today I'll be talking about the wipe, why I think it's a good thing, and maybe we can discuss it further. Let's dive in. So, last week, CIG put out a little announcement. Hi everyone, when we introduced long-term persistence in Alpha 3.8.2, we shared that database wipes would still happen, albeit irregularly, throughout the Alpha stage of Star Citizen. With our last database wipe happening in Alpha 3.15, we're now looking at the next wipe to take place alongside the upcoming 3.17.2 patch. More specifically, over the course of the 3.17.1 patch cycle, there have been a number of issues that arose that led to the LTP database being flooded with bad data. While heading into 17.1, we had originally aimed to surgically correct this. The unprecedented high currency, seriously bonkers during Invictus Week launch, coupled with numerous bugs, led to the issues metastasizing beyond our capability to correct manually. Therefore, as mentioned above, it's time for a wipe. We've split long-term persistence down into 3 distinct sections. Items, wallet being Alpha aUEC, and reputation. We can wipe specific parts of the LTP as needed. With Alpha 3.17.2 items and the wallet will be wiped, we've taken steps to ensure your current reputation remains. In addition to clearing the database, this wipe will also fix a variety of account-related issues, bugs that some players have been unable to resolve with character resets and workarounds. Of course, as with any LTP wipe, all your account-attributed items, pledges, subscriber player, rewards, etc. will remain. Lastly, with Jumptown Natas Lockdown kicking off this weekend, many poised for profit, we're exploring a variety of options to compensate an undetermined amount of aUEC when 3.17.2 releases for players that were active in 3.17.1. More details on this to come. So the main thing to take away from here is there were issues not only with money, but also items. So primarily with items and ships. I don't know if you've experienced it, but essentially I would have a whole bunch of ships duplicate. So I've got 4 of a whole bunch of ships like the Taurus, the Razor, and a bunch of other ships as well, which is just good old times. And in terms of the Alpha aUEC, a lot of people were having money disappear, but I think primarily this is because there were quite a few bugs and glitches that were essentially used and abused to gain a lot of money. Some of those being selling multiple items when selling first was introduced to sell to the vendors, and they could just essentially sell the same item over and over again without actually losing the item. And more recently, the gem issue with backpacks, doing a character reset and essentially just having 2, 3, 4, 5 million credits worth of gems in your inventory. When you reset, go sell it, good to go. So I think that's primarily why they've gone with both. A lot of people are frustrated that they will lose their ships. I get that. That's frustrating. That's annoying, especially if you don't get to play all day, every day. A lot of us work full-time jobs or have families or both, and they don't have time to spend 12 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week playing Star Citizen and grinding up through the normal means. So whatever they have accrued over 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, that's all they were able to do. So losing those ships they bought, I get it. It's frustrating. That being said, it's an alpha that's going to be wiped a few times. In the next few years, we're probably going to see quite a few of them, especially with 3.18 again. They'll be doing a bit for that, and probably with 18.1. So depending on what they change and if they have more bugs, it's going to keep happening. And if you're in it for the long haul to play this game, it's something that we're going to have to get used to if you aren't already used to it. I know a lot of people have come over from the Escape from Tarkov community, and they're all set for it because they're used to it. It's the kind of thing that, you know, they've gotten used to, they come to expect it, they enjoy it, and I understand it's a very different creature, Star Citizen and Tarkov, I get it. That being said though, if you've been playing this game for a few years, you kind of you get the rigmarole, you understand how to do things, and the reputation's not getting wiped. So most people are going to be able to put in a few hours and get close to 1 million alpha UEC anyway. And if you're in the part of the boat where you are a newer player and you've just jumped in with Invictus and it's kind of frustrating, maybe you got your next ship and it's getting wiped, it's not that hard to work your way up. I mean, honestly, the part I enjoy about the game the most is the start. My friend Ethereal and I, we both created our own wipe. So essentially we sent all of our money off to someone else. We started Orison so we could leave our 200% inventory away from us and just flew off in our Hulles and did a whole bunch of hauling. And hauling doesn't have reputation. And within a few days, we'd already gotten to 5 million credits working our way up. So if you've been playing the game long enough, you know the ways to make money legitimately. And if you're newer, it's just something that's part and parcel of playing an alpha that's constantly being updated and patched. So as frustrating as it might be, ultimately it's working towards a positive. Because if you've got the duplication glitch on your ships, you know how frustrating that is to essentially either have to bring a whole bunch of ships just to get one to whatever new location or abandon the ship altogether. And I've seen a lot of content creators kind of go through in the moment it bugs, they just, ship's done, bye, see ya. And that's really frustrating if you have accrued those ships and you essentially can't use them without 10, 15, 20 minutes of having to mess around to get that working. So ultimately, I think it's a good thing, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually very excited for starting fresh without a whole bunch of items, because now we can loot rarer gear as we kind of cruise around the galaxy, and we will now be able to sell those items piece by piece instead of having to sell 25 or 30 or 40 of them. Because when we went from 17 to 17.1, most people were buying up all the armor sets they wanted, and now their inventories are chockers. And when you do a character reset, most items that you've purchased just come back. You can never really get rid of them unless you spend an hour selling them, which, if you're into that, awesome. Myself, not so much. So, all of that aside, what can you do to set yourself up for the wipe? Reputation's not being wiped, so if you haven't already, get as many of those reputation areas, whether it be mercenary work, courier work, get those to as high a level as you can. Pick a system. Microtech is quite good for doing mercenary work. If you're doing bounty hunting, you want to go Crusader or Hurston. Get them up as high as you can. Red Wind, they're going to be updated and becoming the cheeky boys of the universe, and essentially will be offering you some less than legal missions. So Red Wind and Hurston, get them done with the couriers. Hopefully that reputation will carry over to the illegal side of it, but you know, you can pop out a 45k mission once you've got them to rank 2, so easy peasy lemon squeezy, get that locked down. And if you haven't already, get involved in the Ninetales event. So apparently we're going to be getting some money thrown at us for that. Not too sure. I think we've got a day left on time of upload, so crack onto that, do it. I think it's a set amount of money, so I don't think you have to knock out levels and levels and levels. Just do it a couple of times and you should be good to go. But enough of me waffling on. That's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through to the end. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe for more content. If you agree or even disagree with me about the wipe being a good thing, chuck it in the comment section below. And as always, I will catch you all in the verse next time.